Barcelona didn't collapse because football changed. Barcelona collapsed because the people in charge thought they were smarter than football. If you're a Barcelona fan, this is going to hurt. If you're a rival, you've been waiting for this. Because what happened to Barcelona wasn't bad luck. It wasn't a rough patch. It was a slow, public destruction of the greatest football identity of a generation. It began at the very top. In 2015, Barcelona won the treble under Luis Enrique. Messi, Suarez, Neymar. A team that could dominate possession, destroy you on the counter, and control matches without mercy. At that moment, Barcelona weren't just the best team in the world. They were proof that football could be art and dominance at the same time. But here's the uncomfortable truth. That peak in 2015 wasn't the start of a dynasty. It was the last moment before everything started to slide. Because success makes clubs arrogant. And arrogance attracts the most dangerous people in football, the ones who want credit. Barcelona had built greatness through a clear philosophy. But after 2015, the club started acting like greatness was automatic. Like the badge itself could produce trophies without planning, without discipline, without consequences. That's where Josep Maria Bartomeu enters the story. If you want one name to represent Barcelona's collapse, it's his. Under Bartomeu, Barcelona didn't just make mistakes. They repeated them, doubled down on them, and pretended it was all part of a plan. The warning signs didn't start on the pitch. They started in the way the club thought. Barcelona used to be obsessed with fit. Fit to the system, fit to the dressing room, fit to the identity. After 2015, that obsession shifted to status. Headlines, power, control. Then, in 2017, everything broke. Neymar left. This wasn't just a transfer, it was a humiliation. Barcelona didn't just lose a player. They lost the future they were pretending was already secured. Neymar's exit exposed something Barcelona never wanted to admit. They were vulnerable. And instead of responding like Barcelona, they responded like a club in panic. You can almost hear the boardroom conversation. Replace him now. Show we're still big. Prove we can survive without him. So Barcelona did something that still doesn't make sense. They tried to buy confidence. They spent like a club with no identity and no patience. Coutinho, Dembélé, later, Griezmann. None of these signings were driven by football logic first. They were about optics, about controlling the narrative, about convincing fans everything was fine. Football doesn't care about your narrative. Coutinho wasn't bought to fit Barcelona. He was bought to soothe pride. A statement signing, a boardroom trophy. And almost immediately, it was obvious he didn't belong. Not because he wasn't talented, because Barcelona no longer knew who they were. Then came Dembélé, a young player with huge potential and impossible pressure. Barcelona didn't buy him to develop him. They bought him and demanded he replace Neymar instantly. That's how players get broken. Then came Griezmann, a world-class name, a great player, and a terrible fit. By 2018 and 2019, Barcelona weren't rebuilding. They were stacking expensive decisions on top of each other, hoping money would bury the truth. While the board spent like it was infinite, the team aged. The intensity dropped. The hunger faded. Barcelona still had the ball. But fear started showing up in the big moments. And fear has a stage. Europe. In 2018 against Roma, Barcelona had control of the tie. They collapsed. The most shocking part wasn't the defeat. It was how helpless they looked. A team that no longer knew how to suffer. A year later, against Liverpool, Barcelona dominated at home. The Camp Nou believed it was over. Anfield proved it wasn't. 4 goals conceded, total psychological destruction. That night wasn't a fluke. It was a mirror. It showed how fragile Barcelona had become. When chaos entered the match, they didn't rise. They broke. Fans blamed coaches, blamed tactics, blamed individual players. But the real sickness was higher up. A healthy club responds to humiliation with truth. Barcelona responded with denial. They didn't reset standards. They didn't rebuild mentality. They protected the people in power. Coaches came and went. Valverde, then Setien. Setien wasn't given control. He was given responsibility without authority. Barcelona became a club where the board was permanent and the coach was disposable. where politics mattered more than football. Then came Bayern in 2020, 8-2. That scoreline wasn't a defeat, it was an obituary. Barcelona didn't look unlucky. They looked finished, too slow, too open, too broken. That night was when Barcelona stopped being a super club and became a warning. That should have been the moment of truth, a brutal reset, an honest rebuild. Instead, the situation turned toxic. And that leads to the most uncomfortable chapter of all. Messi. For years, Messi wasn't just Barcelona's best player. He was their safety net. Every bad decision was hidden by his brilliance. Every delay excused by his goals. The club didn't plan because Messi kept saving them, until he couldn't. The relationship between Messi and the board collapsed. Public drama, private frustration. Messi tried to leave. Think about that. The most loyal superstar in modern football reached a breaking point. Not because he hated Barcelona, because he saw what the club had become. Chaos, no project, no direction. Bartomeu eventually left, but the damage was already done. And in 2021, the final blow arrived. Messi left, not because he chose another club, because Barcelona couldn't keep him. The club that once symbolized football purity couldn't afford its own legend. That isn't bad luck, that's failure. Barcelona didn't fall because Neymar left. They didn't fall because Messi aged. They didn't fall because football evolved. They fell because leadership replaced discipline with ego, because identity became marketing, because mistakes were hidden instead of fixed. The European collapses weren't accidents, they were symptoms. A club without discipline becomes a team without resilience. A team without resilience collapses when pressure gets loud. And the Champions League is the loudest place on earth. So when you watch Barcelona now, rebuilding and trying to recover, understand what you're seeing. A club trying to remember who it was, trying to rebuild trust with its own fans, trying to prove it still belongs. Maybe they'll succeed. Because Barcelona will always have talent, history, and supporters. But history can't protect you from your own mistakes. Barcelona's collapse proves one brutal truth. You don't fall when you lose matches. You fall when you stop respecting the future. Barcelona had everything. The philosophy, the academy, the greatest player ever, and they still destroyed it. Not with one mistake, with years of denial. This wasn't a rough period. This was self-inflicted. And the most controversial part? It didn't have to happen at all. If you want more football stories where one decision changes everything, subscribe. Because this is what GoalLine Stories is about.